Hey there everyone, Dr. Beth Westie here, and I wanted to talk about the top 3 signs that you may be estrogen dominant. Now, I have talked about estrogen dominance before, done other videos on it, the term estrogen dominance before you send me a message on it. I know sometimes it can be like, is that a diagnosable thing? Blah, blah, blah. That's not really a thing. Listen, it is a term that most people are familiar with and that you can identify with issues that you're having with your body. So that's why I use the term estrogen dominance, because what we're looking at is higher estrogen in relationship to progesterone. Your estrogen can still be within range, but if it doesn't match and balance with progesterone, then it throws things off. So it still applies and it leads to different symptoms. So here are the top 3 things when you have overall higher estrogen than progesterone, because it creates a lot of issues in your system. Yes. So you're going to have a heavier cycle. This can mean that you have an irregular cycle. You can also still have a regular cycle if your progesterone level is enough where you're still ovulating regularly, but overall heavier, you can have more clots. It can be disruptive to your month, all of those things. It is not a fun thing to go through for you. Yep, big sign that you have more estrogen. Why? Because estrogen is in charge of building up that uterine lining. And when your hormones are off, it impacts so many other things besides just your reproductive organs, but it can impact your reproductive organs in a major way too. Great, fantastic, yeah. Now you might be thinking, how do I know? How do I know if this is me? How do I know if this is something that is impacting me? Because some of this sounds like me. Yes. Dutch test. I do hormone testing to make sure we target the right thing. Now I'm going to talk about this more in just a minute, but I do want to let you guys know that my 12-week challenge is filled. I only take so many people, and I know it always fills. That's why I have a wait list. And there were some gals that were like, oh, I really wanted the opportunity to jump on board. I really wanted to test my hormones because we do Dutch testing in the 12-week. But what I am offering is for you to get a Dutch test. So here is a link below where you can order your own Dutch test. The test gets shipped right to your house. You take it, you send it in, right? The lab analyzes it, and then we go over it. So it is a fantastic way to really, really make sure you are addressing all the things that need to be addressed. Getting everything taken care of that needs to be taken care of. That's the way we know. It is your results. It is specific to you, specific recommendations, and we go over your results and target these things because it can be really frustrating. Some gals are like, yeah, I have a heavy cycle, but it's irregular. I have a heavy cycle, but it's regular. Well, it matters then as to what we see here and how we target it, because it's different. We target it different ways then. And it depends on which pathways are being blocked for how your system is functioning. Yes. So that's the first thing. The second thing here is weight gain. And this is not just like overall weight gain, like, oh, I haven't been to the gym and oh, I really need to get going here and blah, blah, blah. This is weight gain specifically in the hips, that lower abdomen, thigh area, and it will not budge. Now, the type of weight gain you can have, it can be 10 pounds, 15, 20 pounds, just in that area. You might be like, gosh, my arms feel the same. My upper body is the same, but my lower abdomen, my hips, my thighs, my rear end has really gotten a lot bigger. What the heck? Yep, it is weight gain from that excess estrogen. That's where the female body will store estrogen weight, right there. And it can seem like you get more cellulite too. You don't really get more because that's how your fascia and connective tissue is formed, but it can seem like it. I know. So, and then the other thing that increases a lot is any PMS that you might have. Any symptoms that you have leading up to your cycle, they can get a lot worse. They can be a doozy. So this would be mood swings. Like the flip of a switch on and off where you're like, whoa, I wasn't even angry about that. What is going on? Yep, right there. Having tender breasts, fibrocystic breasts, fibroids overall, bloating, digestive discomfort, things like that. It can get 10 times worse and it can feel like you have PMS longer. Whereas before you'd be like, yeah, I get a couple of days. It's not a big deal. Or I get maybe 3 days of some PMS. Not a big deal. And now you're like, it's like a week and a half. What the heck? That is what the heck. That's what it is. So that's what we have to figure out and target for you. This is why I do Dutch testing. This is why we test exactly what your system needs. Because if your progesterone levels are okay, then we need to really target the estrogen. But if your progesterone is not balanced, then we need to target progesterone as well as targeting estrogen. Getting your system to create and then maintain the correct amounts of estrogen for your system. That is the big key thing here. And Dutch testing, there's nothing else like it that really tests your comprehensive hormones and really lets us target the right thing. So you see results faster. So we're actually working on the right thing. I was just going over a test last week with somebody, and she was like, yeah, it's really gotten worse. Like over the past couple of years, my cycle has really gotten a lot worse. And I'm not really doing anything different. I'm exercising the same. I'm eating about the same. My stress is about the same, you know, aside from everything happening in the world, right? It's about the same. And I don't understand why it's so much worse. And I can't really wrap my head around what to do next, because there are so many things that you can do, so many different supplements and all this stuff. And you can take things that make things worse. So that's why I was like, listen, these things that so-and-so told you to take, those aren't bad things. Those are just the wrong pathways for you. Those pathways are already too high for you. And we don't want to increase that. That'll make some of these things worse. Yeah. So we have to make sure we're targeting the right thing for your system, your body, and working everything out from there. Yes. Karen says, after doing the Dutch test and realizing my estrogen levels are through the roof, I did a pelvic ultrasound just to make sure I don't have cysts or fibroids. I was told everything is normal, but still suffer from severe ovulation cramps every other month. I notice that when I'm ovulating, the right ovary, the pain isn't bearable. The left is almost unnoticeable. That is fascinating. So what most likely could be happening, because if you have pain on one side versus the other when you're ovulating, and you can tell, it really would be more connected with some physical scar tissue or something like that around there. So besides doing everything to help balance the hormones, to help that process happen as smoothly as possible when you're ovulating, decreasing inflammation, and then actually acupuncture. Find a great acupuncturist that works with female hormones. Get physical body work done. You know, and these are some of the things that, you know, we do in the 12-week challenge, where I talk to you about these specific things for you. But again, because it's full, and we won't be running it again for a little bit, I want to give you an opportunity for those of you that wanted to jump on board. You can still get the Dutch test, still get your hormones looked at, and at least get a start in the right direction for your hormones. But that is a great question. Great question. So, and if you have any other questions, any follow-up questions, you guys can always message me or leave a comment below. I'm more than happy to answer questions. Or if you want, you can message me questions, and I'll be doing some Q&A on my stories. So you can always pop into my stories and ask questions there, and I'll be answering those as well as I can, giving, you know, some direction, something like that, because, you know, sometimes, you know, it's helpful to at least have a direction to move in and what steps to take next. So, yes. All right, so that's what I got for you guys tonight. Please let me know if you have any other questions. You know, I always have my other resources for you. My book's The Female Fat Solution, The Female Menopause Solution. My podcast is The Female Health Solution. And then my YouTube channel is called Dr. Beth Westie, where I have all my videos uploaded. And then, of course, I also have my tinctures for your cycle. I do have a Black Friday sale coming out. So if you haven't gotten an email on that, check your email, because there's some amazing deals coming out. Just like everybody has deals. So yeah, I love a good sale, right? All right, that's what I got for you. Let me know if you need anything else. Otherwise, I will see you guys later.